You're watching the Alabama Weather Network.
It's Monday, the 8th of December. This is James Spann. Clouds are hanging tough over most of the state. We got a few spots with the sun, but we're still being optimistic and forecasting clearing this evening. And we do believe we will be in sunshine tomorrow for a change. Let's go right to the upper air look. And we have that trough axis gradually pushing through here. Once we get on the backside of that trough, we have sinking air, subsidence, and that will get the clouds out of here. It's a slow process, but we'll get there. In fact, we'll check the visible satellite view, and you can see that we've got a few thin spots in the overcast, but not many. But again, the clouds should fade pretty quickly tonight, and tomorrow should be a different kind of day. And no rain around here. The closest precipitation is that snow falling over parts of Virginia and North Carolina this afternoon, where they've got a winter storm warning in effect for parts of Virginia. Rain on the coast of North Carolina around the Outer Banks. Temperatures again today below average. We have had a really hard time warming up in December. We've got 40s over the northern two-thirds of the state, low to mid-50s over South Alabama. We'll check the watch warning map, and again, we have winter storm warnings in effect for parts of Virginia and West Virginia. Up north, winter storm warnings in effect for parts of Minnesota and North Dakota. And a bunch of high wind warnings in effect for parts of Montana, the Dakotas, and Wyoming. And flash flood watches in effect for western Washington state and northwest Oregon. But no severe storm problems anytime soon. This is the severe weather outlook through tonight. Maybe a little thunder down around Miami or Key West. Nothing severe. Tomorrow, not a single storm across the entire country. And the same thing on Wednesday. Convectively speaking, we are very quiet. Look at here, rain for the next 7 days. Just nothing. And let's see if the new update is in. We'll kind of check this out together, and I don't expect, quite frankly, a lot of changes if it is in. It is a very dry pattern here. So let's see. And the new update is in. This will be the rain valid through Monday night of next week, and we'll watch it change together, and no real change. Again, maybe a little bit over the Tennessee Valley, but again, just it's a dry pattern here. So model fans, here we go. European 12Z run, 4 o'clock tomorrow. The trough axis is out of here. Got a ridge in the western states, and again, on the backside of a trough, we'll have sinking air subsidence, and that bone-crushing subsidence should bring a sunny day to the state. High should be in the 50s. And tomorrow morning, if the sky clears tonight, tomorrow morning we'll start the day below freezing. In fact, North Alabama should be in the 20s, but again, highs in the 50s. Let's go to Wednesday. Should be a sunny day. We've got these Alberta Clippers passing well north of here. No real impact here. Highs 50s and 60s. Much of South Alabama will be well up in the 60s on Wednesday. Pretty comfortable, finally starting to warm up. Thursday, we're still dry. Highs in the 50s. And Friday, that surface front will be approaching, but we're still dry. Any snow with those clippers will stay north of us. And the high Friday will likely stay in the 50s for North Alabama, 60s for the southern counties of the state. So for the weekend, the European is kind of backing off on this concept of really cold air getting in here. All of a sudden, it shows some clouds and maybe a few sprinkles on Saturday with temperatures maybe in the 40s and low 50s instead of 30s and 40s. And then on Sunday, same thing, clouds, cold, but not as cold as other runs we have seen. But again, we're still seeing conflicting model outputs. So let's look at the output from the ensembles. This is the European ensemble mean, temperature anomaly, valid Sunday night. And you can see it's really cold. I mean, really cold up around Chicago, Milwaukee. And we're just kind of on the edge of that colder air mass. The GFS is farther south. And again, clearly it's going to be sharply colder this weekend. The question is how cold. And again, the consensus of the models have backed off a little bit on the amount of cold air, the depth of the cold air. But that could change again as we get close to the weekend. I'll say we've seen some minus 50s up in Alaska. And typically when you see that kind of cold air and it floods the United States, it gets pretty cold down here. We'll take a look at the NBM numbers here in just a second. This is a week from today, Monday the 15th of December, a northwest flow aloft, and we are cold and dry. And again, lows well below freezing Sunday and Monday morning. A freeze potentially down to the Gulf Coast. Maybe a few spots in North Alabama getting down into the upper teens. Let's keep going. This is 10 days out, Thursday of next week, December the 18th. Another trough developing over the eastern states and evidence of maybe a little light rain in here. The better chance of rain would seem to be maybe Wednesday night or Thursday with this feature, a cold front. Let's check the rain for the next 15 days. The mean is the green line on that chart, and really it's not that high for December. It's a little over 1 inch between now and the 23rd of December. So here are the numbers, the new numbers coming off the National Blend of Models. These are updated once an hour. And again, what this does, it takes into the account the global models, the regional models, convection-allowing models. It's an ensemble approach, which is the right way of looking at things, which is why we show you this. And again, notice the depth of the cold air is backed off a little bit for the weekend. And this is for the central part of the state. We're kind of giving you a midpoint forecast here. Obviously, if you're in the Tennessee Valley, it will be colder. South Alabama, not as cold. But this is suggesting highs dropping in the 40s Saturday and Sunday, with lows below freezing by Sunday morning and Monday morning, but not as cold as other NBM runs we have seen. And then highs get back in the 50s for next week. And just in moments ago, latest long-range guidance. This is 8 to 14 days out, December 16th through the 22nd. And all of a sudden, temperatures now a little above average if this works out. And again, we see no sign of any winter weather mischief, snow or ice, at least for the next 10 days around here. But let's roll some Children's of Alabama Kid Cam. Man, I love this tradition. Every December, I visit the fifth graders at Southside Elementary School. Man, they're looking good today. And let me tell you what, speaking of looking good, oh boy, those are cinnamon rolls in that box. Those are homemade cookies in that box. That's outstanding. But these fifth graders, they're good. I mean, we did a lot of science stuff. We talked about forecasting weather instruments, talked about thunderstorms, hurricanes, tornadoes, and a lot more. Love it. Great time today. So again, to all these kids at Southside Elementary School, thanks a lot for a great visit earlier today. You guys are looking good. So tomorrow I will be at Westside Elementary School in Cedartown, Georgia. And then after that, I'll be swinging by Northeast Alabama Community College in Rainsville, up in DeKalb County. Then on Friday, going to be in Jasper at Memorial Park Elementary School. Looking forward to that. Hey, tonight's Monday night. You know what the deal is. It is Weather Brains Night. The weekly show for weather geeks, dweebs, nerds, dorks, and weenies. 7 o'clock Central Time on the Weather Brains YouTube channel, youtube.com/weatherbrains. But we know most of you listen. The audio version comes out early tomorrow morning. And, of course, as always, you can catch us this evening on ABC 3340 News and every day on great radio stations around the state, including in Birmingham, 98.7 KISS and 104.7 WZZK. Thanks for watching. Have a marvelous Monday evening, and God bless.